So she wandered around the club for about 20 minutes, then decided it was time to head back to the dorms. After that, things get a bit fuzzy. She vaguely remembers sitting on a bus stop bench, planning to take a quick break, but then she blacked out, and when she woke up, she found herself looking down at that same bench. Weirdly enough, she was completely sober and could see her own body lying there. Instead of freaking out, though, she felt strangely detached and free, with no desire to go back to her physical self. In the expanse of her newfound perception, the world unfolded around her like a mesmerizing tapestry. It was as if a veil had been lifted, allowing her to effortlessly take in her surroundings with a panoramic view minus 360 degrees of clarity, revealing distant objects and people as if they were right beside her. An unexpected tunnel manifested, hovering about 15 feet above the ground, a silent guide beckoning her to traverse its ethereal corridors. Initiating her journey floating gently, the tunnel soon became a conduit to indescribable sensations, a gateway beyond the confines of Earth's atmosphere into the vastness of space. Time seemed to lose its grip as she transcended, soaring through the cosmos. An indeterminate period passed, with time itself becoming an elusive concept. Amidst the cosmic odyssey, a distant light emerged, steadily growing larger with her approach. Much like those who recount near-death experiences, she too felt an overwhelming sense of love enveloping her as she neared the radiant glow. Describing this love proved challenging. An embrace by the entire universe, a colossal hug that reached every nerve. Immersed in this profound feeling, a figure materialized before her. A man in a white robe, his smile radiating beauty, communicated with her telepathically, words resonating directly in her mind. "I have been waiting for you, my child," he conveyed. "Have you?" she responded in kind. "Yes, I have," he affirmed, adding, "And, since you're going to ask, Jesus is the name you know me by, though I am called by many names. You have been chosen to meet me here, and now, because you have reached a crucial time in your life, your future will be determined by choices you will soon make." Intrigued, she inquired about these choices. "You are at a crossroads. I will show you two possible futures, but ultimately, the path you take remains within the boundaries of your own free will to choose." Extending a hand, Jesus touched her forehead, and suddenly she found herself in a doctor's office. In this vision, she was older, her liver failing due to a past of excessive drinking. Another vision unfolded. She was the same age, but working as a social worker, positively impacting at-risk youth. "Healthier and happier?" she questioned. "Why me? What makes me special?" Consider the stars and ponder life's intricacies. Every puzzle needs pieces to fit together in a specific order. Even a single misplaced piece alters the entire picture. I cannot explain why you are crucial, but you were chosen to witness. Return to Earth and become the piece you were meant to be. Before embarking on her journey back, she turned toward the tunnel, posing a final question to Jesus about his return. "My child, only my Father knows that answer," replied Jesus. The return mirrored the initial journey. Hovering above her lifeless body on a bus stop bench, her descent slowed. A part of her soul resisted, longing for the radiant light. Glancing around, the tunnel had closed. Suddenly, a force pulled her back with a loud pop, rejoining her body. She awoke with a start. The chill cut through her, and in a state of sobriety, she treated back to her dorm room. As the night's remnants lingered, she grappled with the uncertainty. Was it a dream meeting Jesus, or had she truly traversed somewhere else? In the subsequent weeks, summoning courage, she spilled her tale to her parents. A misstep, as it turned out. They dismissed her, deeming her crazy or suspecting drug involvement. The involvement of the church pastor worsened matters. He accused her of blasphemy and being possessed by Satan. Life took a sharp turn. Communication with her parents ceased. She gave up drinking, and her grades soared. Like-minded companions gravitated toward her. Navigating the journey of life, she conquered challenges, faced adversity, and proudly wore the cap and gown on graduation day. Settling in a bustling U.S. metropolis, she found purpose as a devoted social worker, channeling the support she once lacked into aiding at-risk youth. In the intricate tapestry of her existence, uncertainties lingered about her cosmic place. Still, she clung to the belief, a brushstroke in a grand picture, contributing to the broader canvas of human experience. Each day unfurled a new chapter, her fervent goal to be a guiding light for vulnerable youngsters, spurred by the echoes of past mentorship. Despite occasional doubt, she surged forward with unyielding determination, fueled by the conviction that her actions could forge a meaningful impact. To her, at-risk youth weren't just recipients of aid but potential torchbearers, capable of unraveling the mysteries of destiny. Digging deeper into her role, she found solace. Perhaps one of the young souls she touched would illuminate the path to her own future. The ambiguity ahead fueled her commitment, every interaction a possibility, every challenge an opportunity for growth. For those resonating with this narrative, yearning for tales that stir emotions and provoke reflection, consider subscribing and turning on notifications. The journey into profound stories and musings is an ongoing exploration. She warmly invites you to join her on this captivating odyssey. Here's to more discoveries, shared cheers, and a collective unraveling of extraordinary chapters that await.
Greetings, viewers. With an aversion to subsequent interactions, he eschewed follow-ups altogether. The tale he is on the cusp of revealing is profoundly distressing, ingrained deeply within his mind. Recounting this narrative provokes apprehension within him, yet an unstoppable desire for honesty and the constraints of expression drive him to disclose it. The retrospective journey traverses back to a specific moment etched in time, July 15, 2013. It was a pivotal morning, the clock hands inching closer to 7:45 a.m. as he embarked on his daily passage to work. His path led him to an intersection known for its notorious reputation, a place steeped in a history riddled with accidents and danger. This wasn't an ordinary crossing. Its intricate layout obscured visibility, especially for those attempting the challenging left turns. His own sense of urgency pressed heavily upon him. Tardiness threatened to cast a dark shadow over a crucial meeting meticulously planned and anticipated for several days. Since that ominous day, significant progress has been made in fortifying the traffic signal system governing this very intersection. In the swift and impulsive span of this journey, he found himself at the heart of this perilous junction, standing at the precipice of a decision shrouded in uncertainty. Focused on executing a left turn, his glance momentarily swept to the right. Initially perceiving an unobstructed path, he began the maneuver. Yet, in traversing the intersection, a second rightward glance revealed an approaching force, an oncoming vehicle hurtling forward at an inexplicably high speed, perhaps breaching the 90th mile per hour mark. The imminent collision hung in the air, and in that fleeting moment of realization, their eyes met, acknowledging the impending disaster. Describing the subsequent events presents a formidable challenge. Words, even meticulously chosen, scarcely capture more than a mere 1% of the experience, and even that feels insufficient. Across the road, an open field stretched before his car. It was within this expanse that he suddenly became aware of an immense entity advancing diagonally towards his vehicle. Time, if it functioned at all, followed an unconventional course. He had the ability to witness this temporal anomaly, yet elaborating on its specifics remained an imposing task. Initially perceived as resembling a 10-story building situated some distance away, the concepts of size and proximity quickly lost their meaning. This perception was to be clarified imminently. The object bore a resemblance to a colossal water wheel reclining on its side, methodically rotating as it approached. As it drew nearer, the initial estimation of its size proved glaringly inaccurate. The entity transcended the boundaries of scale and distance, evoking comparisons to a small city. In the context of this encounter, conventional measures of size and distance became inconsequential, as it breached the limits of human comprehension. Upon the object's gradual approach, an inexplicable sensation seized hold of him, delivering an instantaneous comprehension of its essence. It unfolded revelations about what it embodied, the profound purpose it served, its extensive history, and the rationale behind his peculiar encounter with it. Moreover, he grasped the predestined nature of this meeting, conceived before his birth and destined to unfold amid the final moments in the looming car crash. This cognizance, he realized, lay innate within every soul, concealed throughout life, yet unveiled amidst this transient odyssey towards the brink of calamity. He recounted what fragments he could recall, endeavouring to articulate to the best of his ability while acknowledging the inherent limitations of words to encapsulate the depth of this experience. This colossal wheel was not merely an entity traversing the realms of existence. Rather, it epitomized existence itself, encompassing the entire spectrum of conceivable life or worlds. Its proximity heralded the revelation that our world was but a minuscule fragment within this sprawling structure. Indeed, it had forever been intertwined with this wheel, though its profound connection was only unveiled to him at that pivotal moment. However, the truly terror-evoking facet of this encounter lay where mere words faltered, failing to encapsulate the sheer magnitude of fear he experienced. The wheel, in its ceaseless rotation, seemed to traverse the very spot where his car had been positioned on the road. It was during this passage that he found himself encountering each of the wheel's paddles. The term paddles, serving as a metaphor, only partially conveyed the profound essence of this encounter. Picture, if you will, each paddle adorned with a cascading film of water, akin to lateral waterfalls, and envisage passing through these filmy veils successively. However, these were not just films of water. They symbolized potential realities or universes, an unfathomable multitude. Our familiar world emerged as an inconsequential speck within an infinite expanse. His realization struck him instantly and resolutely. The count was boundless, an inherent understanding devoid of uncertainty. As this awareness dawned, so did the fear within him. He discerned that this process mirrored the human concept of reincarnation, intensifying his apprehension as he voyaged through this metaphysical vortex. The incident on the highway had propelled him to traverse the boundary between the paddles, an arena where the wheel of existence orchestrated the intricate task of reshaping reality. This transition filled him with dread, and his reluctance to be sorted only goaded the wheel to escalate its endeavours. Amidst the shroud of fear's embrace emerged a dawning realization, a revelation that amplified the dread gripping his soul. He grappled with the idea that, unless he actively steered towards a particular reality, the capricious wheel of fate would usurp that decision for him. The looming inevitability of being sorted loitered, an inescapable fate. His own agency in choosing felt meagre, each reality crashing upon him before he could truly discern its nature. Transitioning from one slot to another, he underwent an incessant rebirth with every collision, obliterating the concept of a stable self. The notion of an enduring, continuous self confronted an existential challenge. Most encounters within these myriad universes, nestled within the wheel, either faded into the recesses of his memory or perhaps were intentionally suppressed. At the genesis of this odyssey, these alternate realities mirrored facets of our own, threads of familiarity weaving through the unknown. Notably, he retained fragmented memories, glimpses of diverse scenarios depicting the accident, akin to adjacent spokes on the wheel. One such iteration portrayed his vehicle hurtling off the road, its form contorted as though crumpled in the centre. Yet, countless other scenarios slipped into the abyss of his consciousness. The crux of his sojourn revolved around exploring myriad potential outcomes of the accident, akin to a disorienting ballet amidst a tapestry of hypothetical events. This venture diverged from the conventional near-death experiences, devoid of any ethereal tunnels or radiant beams of light. He conjectured that these symbols materialized upon entry or exit from the wheel's clasp. Never did he chance upon a semblance of an afterlife, a spiritual realm, or existence beyond the dominion of death. It was as though they lingered on the wheel's surface, or were intricately entwined within its essence, a reservoir of unrealized potentials and unfulfilled destinies. Profound revelations coursed through his consciousness during this episode, revelations that eluded his grasp, slipping through the sieve of memory. As he traversed these alternate spokes within the wheel, his panic burgeoned. Each transition heralded a new me, embracing the memories and convictions of its respective realm, while erasing traces of the preceding self. The highway scenario and his former identity remained elusive, exacerbating his distress. Gradually, the spectrum of possibilities began to narrow, ushering forth scenarios intertwined with the accident. Yet, a stark reality dawned upon him. Choosing any of these outcomes would merely grant transient respite before his inevitable return to the wheel. The certainty of this denouement unsettled him, yet the wheel remained impervious to the ebb of time within its clutches. A return to the highway, proximate to the crossroads, marked the enigmatic culmination of this chapter in his journey. This fragment lingered as an unsolved puzzle, the pivotal choice that led him to a reality where the accident teetered on the brink of unfolding, the visage of the other driver etched in his mind. However, at the intersection, as he engaged the brakes, the other vehicle and its driver dissolved